Alright, let's have a real conversation. For too long, society has fed you a very specific one-size-fits-all script for relationships. It's called monogamy. They tell you that your value, your success, is tied to finding that one person and locking it down for life. But what if that script doesn't fit you? What if the very idea feels limiting, like a cage you're supposed to willingly walk into? We're moving beyond the outdated notions of monogamy and even the deceptive nature of bigamy. We're talking about a paradigm shift towards something more honest, more expansive, polygamy, or what some call consensual non-monogamy. This is about consciously designing a life that aligns with your true desires, not the expectations of others. Today we're laying down the law. These aren't suggestions. These are the 10 commandments and rules for redefining your relationships and, by extension, your life. This is for the man or woman who knows their worth and refuses to be confined by traditional, often hypocritical standards. This is about building a framework for relating to others that is built on a foundation of honesty, abundance, and radical self-respect. Forget what you've been told. The old rules were designed to control you, to keep you small. These new rules are designed to empower you, to set you free. This journey is about empowerment. It's about cultivating a level of self-worth so high that you no longer seek validation from a single source. It's about achieving the freedom to connect with people authentically, without the baggage of jealousy and possession that plagues so many modern relationships. We are breaking free from outdated norms that have failed countless individuals. The goal here is not just to have multiple partners. The goal is to build a better, more fulfilling life on your own terms, with relationships that enhance, not restrict your personal growth. Pay attention because class is in session. Let's be clear from the start. The first and most fundamental rule is to reject the premise of lifelong one-on-one commitment. You must make a conscious, deliberate decision that the model of traditional monogamy is not for you. Why? Because it's a setup. It often leads to stagnation, unmet needs, and inevitably deception. When you enter a relationship with the expectation of exclusivity forever, you are setting a trap for yourself and your partner. Instead, you must prioritize and communicate a preference for open or polyamorous dynamics from the beginning. This isn't a phase, it's a foundational principle. It requires you to be upfront about your intentions, to seek partners who are aligned with this vision, and to refuse to compromise on your core desire for a more expansive relational life. This isn't about being non-committal, it's about being committed to a higher standard of honesty. You're committing to authenticity, to building relationships that can withstand the truth. Refusing lifelong monogamy means you are prioritizing your personal evolution and freedom over social conformity. It means you value directness over deception. You are stating unequivocally that your path involves multiple meaningful connections, and you will not entertain a dynamic that forces you to pretend otherwise. This is the first step to building a life of relational abundance. If someone presents you with a monogamous ultimatum, you thank them for their time and you move on. Your framework is non-negotiable. Your energy is a finite resource. Where you direct it determines your results. The second commandment is to stop investing that valuable energy in the past. That means cutting ties with ex-partners. The rearview mirror is small for a reason. You're not going that way. Dwelling on what was, what could have been, or trying to maintain friendships with people you have a romantic history with is a distraction. It keeps you tethered to old patterns and prevents you from being fully present for new opportunities. You cannot build a new future if you are constantly renovating the ruins of your past. A clean break is not cruel, it is necessary for growth. Redirect that focus, that time, that emotional capital toward meeting new people. Your mission is to expand your network, to build fresh connections. Every moment you spend texting an ex is a moment you could have been engaging with someone who is aligned with your future, not your history. This requires discipline. It means deleting numbers, unfollowing social media accounts, and creating a hard boundary. Your focus must be forward-facing. The world is full of amazing, intelligent, and compatible individuals. Your job is to go out and find them, not to linger at the door of a chapter that has already closed. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Jealousy is the cancer of modern relationships. It is a sign of insecurity, possessiveness, and a scarcity mindset. The third commandment is to eliminate it from your life entirely. This starts with you. You must cultivate an abundance mindset, understanding that another person's connection does not diminish your own. But more importantly, you must refuse to partner with jealous individuals. A partner who exhibits possessiveness, who snoops through your phone, who questions your every move, is not a high-value partner. They are an anchor, and they will sink your ship. You must actively screen for this trait. In fact, you should begin to view a partner's acceptance of polygamy or open relationships as a green flag. It is an indicator of their own self-confidence, their emotional maturity, and their alignment with an abundance-based worldview. When someone tells you they are comfortable with consensual non-monogamy, they are telling you they are not ruled by fear and insecurity. This is the kind of person you can build with. A relationship free from jealousy is a relationship free from drama, suspicion, and control. It is a space where all parties can thrive, grow, and connect authentically without the poison of ownership. If jealousy shows up, you shut it down immediately. Commandment 4. Embrace non-monogamy. This flows directly from the first commandment, but, it really requires its own focus. It's not enough to simply reject monogamy in theory, you must actively embrace non-monogamy in practice. This means rejecting one-on-one expectations both from yourself and from others. When you are dating, you should be dating multiple people, openly, honestly. This is not playing the field in the traditional deceptive sense. This is operating with a transparent policy. You are not leading anyone on because your philosophy is clear from the outset. You are seeking multiple concurrent partners, and you expect any potential partner to understand and accept this. This approach requires courage. You will encounter people who are not comfortable with this model. That is fine. They are not your people. Your task is not to convert them, but to find those who are already on the same frequency. By openly seeking multiple partners, you normalize this behavior for yourself and create a life that is congruent with your beliefs. You are building a system where your actions align with your words. You are not cheating if the structure of the relationship is, by definition, open. This is about ethical and consensual expansion of your relational world. You are the architect of your social life. Build it wide, not narrow. Commandment 5. Prioritize self-growth over age. Society puts an immense amount of pressure on people, tying milestones to age. You should be married by 30. You should have kids by 35. This is noise. The fifth commandment is to ignore the clock and prioritize your own self-growth. Your age is irrelevant. What matters is how you are using your time. Are you becoming more skilled, more knowledgeable, more financially secure, more emotionally intelligent? Your focus should not be on locking down a single romantic partner before some arbitrary deadline. Your focus should be on becoming the best possible version of yourself. A high-value individual is valuable at any age. Use your time to build a diverse portfolio of connections. This includes romantic partners, yes, but it also includes mentors, business associates, friends, and intellectual sparring partners. A rich life is not defined by a single relationship. It is defined by the quality and diversity of the people you surround yourself with. As you invest in your own growth, your career, your fitness, your mind, you naturally become more attractive to a wider range of high-quality people. Stop worrying about getting older. Start focusing on getting better. The right connections will find you when you are on the right path, regardless of what the calendar says. Commandment 6. Never reconcile with unfaithful exes. Let's talk about standards. The sixth commandment is an absolute ironclad rule: you never ever reconcile with an ex who was unfaithful. There are no exceptions. If someone in a previously exclusive arrangement with you chose to cheat, they made a decision. They demonstrated a fundamental lack of respect for you, for the relationship, and for the agreement you had. Their character has been revealed. If they come back months or years later with apologies and promises of change, the answer is no, a hard no. It is not your job to rehabilitate someone who broke your trust. Your response should be rooted in self-worth. By rejecting them, you are sending a clear message, primarily to yourself: I deserve better. You deserve honesty. You deserve respect. Taking them back signals that your standards are negotiable, that your boundaries are weak. It opens the door for the same pattern to repeat itself. Do not fall for it. Their return is not a sign of your value, it's a sign of their convenience. They are coming back to what was familiar and comfortable. You have moved on. You are building something new, something better, with a foundation of honesty. An unfaithful ex has no place in that structure. Now let's discuss strategy, specifically for those who are currently single. The seventh commandment is to consider the framework of concubinage, or in modern terms, consensual non-monogamy, with a primary partner structure. If you are unattached, this is an excellent time to explore this. You can establish a primary connection with someone while both of you remain ethically open to other relationships. This allows for a deep, stable bond while still embracing the freedom and variety that non-monogamy offers. It's a best of both worlds approach when built on a foundation of impeccable communication and trust. It allows for security without sacrificing liberty. However, there is a critical caveat here. This strategy is for the uncommitted. Do not, I repeat, do not attempt to introduce this concept into an existing long-term monogamous relationship, especially if jealousy is already a factor. That is a recipe for disaster. It will be perceived as a betrayal, an attempt to legitimize infidelity after the fact. The risk of catastrophic emotional fallout is simply too high. This commandment is about proactive design, not reactive damage control. If you are single, you have a blank slate. Use it to design the exact relational structure you desire from day one. If you're already in a committed, monogamous relationship, this path is likely closed to you. Commandment 8 is all about respecting maternal bonds. No man is an island. Your connections to your family, especially your mother or the primary parental figures in your life, are really significant. The 8th commandment is to honor these bonds and value their approval. Now, this isn't about being a mama's boy. It's about recognizing wisdom and respecting the person who brought you into this world and shaped your early life. A woman who respects your mother is showing respect for your origins, for your history. On the other hand, a woman who creates conflict with your mother is waving a giant red flag. She's signaling that she can't integrate into your life and that she sees your family as competition. This is honestly a crucial test of character. How a potential partner treats your parents, especially your mother, reveals so much about their capacity for respect, empathy, and long-term partnership. Their approval does matter, not because you need their permission, but because their perspective is born from a lifetime of knowing you. They can often see things you can't. If your mother, a woman who has your best interests at heart, has serious reservations about a partner, you need to listen, pay close attention. Disregarding that wisdom is arrogant and often leads to predictable, painful outcomes. Your family is your foundation, so don't partner with someone who wants to dynamite it. Commandment 9 is about avoiding emotional manipulation. So let's talk about power dynamics and control. The 9th commandment is to be vigilant against emotional manipulation, especially when it involves children or pregnancy. A partner who uses a child, or even the threat of pregnancy, to control you, trap you, or force a commitment is not a partner. They are a manipulator. This is honestly one of the most toxic forms of control, and you have to have a zero-tolerance policy for it. Your feelings, your autonomy, and your choices matter. A child should be a product of a loving, stable, and mutual decision, not a tool for coercion. If you ever find yourself in a situation where a partner is trying to use pregnancy or children to corner you, you must stand firm. Your life is your own. You have the right to choose your path and your commitments freely. Don't let guilt or pressure force you into a situation that isn't aligned with your goals and your well-being. This is a clear and unambiguous boundary. Affirm that your feelings are valid. Affirm that you will not be controlled. A healthy relationship is a partnership of equals, not a hostage situation. Recognize the signs of this manipulation and be prepared to walk away decisively to protect your freedom. Commandment 10 is to choose intelligence over emotion. In the heat of the moment, emotions can be overwhelming. Heartache, passion, anger, they can really cloud your judgment and lead to poor decisions. The 10th and final commandment is to train yourself to prioritize logic and intelligence over raw emotion. When you're faced with a relationship crisis, a breakup, or a tough choice, you have to step back. Take a breath. Analyze the situation objectively. What are the facts? What is the most logical path forward that actually aligns with your long-term goals? Don't let heartache dictate your actions. Heartache is temporary. The consequences of bad decisions can be permanent. Moving forward decisively is a skill. It means when a relationship ends, it ends. You don't linger, you don't beg, you don't engage in endless circular arguments. You accept the reality of the situation, process the emotion on your own time, and you move on. You choose your mission, your purpose, and your growth over the fleeting drama of a romantic entanglement. This is really the hallmark of a high-value individual. They're not cold or unfeeling, but they're not ruled by their feelings either. They are the masters of their emotional state, prioritize logic, Make the smart move, not the emotional one. So there you have it. The 10 Commandments for a modern, empowered approach to relationships. As you move forward, I want you to hold on to a key idea, especially for those of you with a past that feels complicated. A phrase to remember is, past is past. Mapapatawad ko sila maraming consent basta walang iwanan. In English, this translates to a powerful sentiment: the past is the past. I can forgive them, with plenty of consent as long as no one gets left behind. This speaks to a future built on forgiveness and inclusivity. It's about letting go of old hurts and resentments, both your own and those of your partners, and moving forward into a new chapter. What this journey requires, above all else, is radical consent. This entire framework collapses without it. Polygamy, or any form of non-monogamy, is not an excuse to deceive or to be selfish. It's a commitment to a higher level of communication and ethical behavior. Every single person involved must agree to the terms willingly, enthusiastically, and without coercion. You're not tricking anyone into this lifestyle. You are inviting them to co-create it with you. The principle of basta walang iwanan, as long as no one gets left behind, means you have a responsibility to ensure the emotional well-being and security of the people you are connected with, within the agreed-upon framework. Ultimately, this is your life. You are the one who has to live with the consequences of your choices. This has been about giving you the tools and the mindset to break free from outdated scripts that no longer serve you. It's about empowerment, about knowing your worth so deeply that you can design relationships that are a true reflection of your values. Redefine your connections on your own terms. Build a life of abundance, honesty, and freedom. The power has always been in your hands. Now go and use it.